Hello, family. How you doing? All right. Well, we're back for another episode of Beyond the Gates. I am prepping for a wedding. So what you don't see slightly off camera is I have some ranunculus. These are beautiful wedding flowers. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is, right? So what I'm doing is, if you can kind of see, and I'll show you one, right? So they're pretty delicate flowers, right? But you see how that's turning that way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wire in it so that it stands up straight. Now this seems like it's going, but you can see like where the head is bent sideways, that we want them to sit up like this. So I'm going to be putting these wires through the heads of these flowers. Why? While Beyond the Gates. Now, we're on episode 36. We're not necessarily behind. We're a few episodes behind. But listen, if you're recapping and catching up, then you like these recaps because you get to watch them at your leisure. So, on 36, we open up with Mike. Now, remember, I told you Mike got fired. He got asked to, leave your security card at the front door. Excuse me. We'll mail you the contents of your office. And he's like, what are you talking about? I have the most billable hours. I'm a partner. I will sue this place if you let me go, right? I'm accustomed to living a certain type of life. Now listen, the black person in me is like the white privilege in him is showing up a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like, you can't fire me. And Bill was like, first of all, the thing is about your reputation is your reputation. This is all on you, sir. It ain't got nothing to do with you, because he tried to blame it on Naomi. He was like, oh, this is all your daughter's fault, and because she wanted to get back at you for what you did to her mother. And he was like, and Bill, you got a lot of nerve to be talking about inappropriateness at the office. You had an affair with a coworker and married her. So how dare you tell me about what it is that I do and it being wrong? He was like, first of all, you can go anywhere you want and your reputation will follow you, because you do that to the people at the courthouse. You do it to junior attorneys at other law firms. So people know about you. It's no big secret. We wasn't going to win this case anyway. So let's get that part out of here. Right? So he's like all just crazy. And Bill's like, look, it's unanimous. You take the severance or you take nothing. And if you decide you want to sue, it'd be the last thing you ever do, because you won't have any money to do anything. He's like, so they just left that at that, right? So then let's talk about little Miss Danny. Now, we talked about Danny and her drunkenness that Drew came home to. He was like, I don't know what you're trying to do with your life, but you need to figure something out. Because she wakes up, first thing he offers her, now she didn't ask for it, he offered her a pain pill. And when he offered her a pain pill, I said, oh no, she's going down that road. He goes and offers her a pain pill and then immediately says to her, you need to stop this. You need to do better. And she's like, you know what? Nobody asked you for any inspirational help. You kick rocks. I don't need you. I don't need your pity. I don't need you to rescue me. I could do it on my own. He was like, I know. And you're amazing. And you're brilliant. And you're fantastic. And you can do anything. You've been doing anything that you've wanted to do since you were 17. She's like, but Bill. He was like, and Bill's an idiot. Come on. You got this. And she's just like, I just don't know. She figures it out, calls her best friend, the friend that helped her with the wine. She calls her and she's like, I need to find my thing, because I've been, going through this thing with Bill for way too long and I need to do better. And she's just like, can you help me? And her best friend's like, absolutely, I can help you. That's what best friends are for, my lady. That's what we do. These are little baby rhinoceroses. These are not, the clonies are just the big humongous, but the clonies, people they want this look. They won't want to pay for the price of that particular look. So we've got to find some alternatives to still give you the look, but give it to you at a price. So these are a little bit less expensive than the really big clonies that you see. Rhinocuses, the really pretty ones, but they're pretty nonetheless. I think I might need small wire because this gauge is being a little temperamental. And these have got to last until... Okay, so I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna do this review, and then I'm gonna go and get a different gauge. So she's just distraught. She decides that she's gonna try to be somebody different. She wants to be somebody bigger. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, she calls her friend. They go out for something to eat because the friend is like, Danny's like, you want something to drink? She's like, no, Danny, I would like a lemon with cayenne pepper. I want something like non-alcoholic. And she's like, okay, well, let's go get something to eat. So they end up going to the country club. And sure enough, Haley's at the country club waiting for Bill. Now, these two, Bill and Haley, they've decided that they are going to try to have a baby now because they got the little scare. They still got the scare, don't know the results yet. She's just missed her period. And for the life of me, why don't you go take a pee test? Like, they're free. They're not free, but you can get one. And then this whole thing could be, done. You're just nervous. A lot of the wedding, a lot of the, the stress of everything, the back and forth with Danny, the back and forth with Naomi, the back and forth with Chelsea. So there's a lot of stress. So it could just be a stress-related late period. But before they do any of the actual testing, they go out and affirm that they actually do want to have children with each other, right? So she runs into Danny, and Danny's like, listen, you know what? I've had sort of an epiphany about you that even though, I realize that Bill loves you, and I understand that he loves you just like he loved me. And just like he loved me, he cheated on me with other people. And just like you feel like you have a career, because she had a nerve to say, I can have a career, that you are a paralegal in your husband's law firm. Like, you don't have a career, you have a job that he tolerates you. And if he could, you wouldn't even have that job. Just like he didn't really want her to have a job. And that's why he made her quit her career, Danny's career. So she's just like, you know what? I'm really like, I'm over you guys now. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you be fruitful and prosper. I'm going to wipe my hands of you because I'm really bored of the whole situation. So there's that. So she's just like, oh, cheerful because they're finally serving her at the club. They're paying her attention. And she's just like, Bill finally shows up at the country club with her. And she's like, they're respecting me now. And it's no thanks to you. And she was like, well, what do you think it's from? He's like, well, I think it's because of Danny. I think Danny just said that it's okay to serve me and be on and to, I was like, well, really? But okay. If that's what you think, let it be that, let it be that. They go back and forth about having a baby and all of this. And he's just like, I really want to do this with you. I really love you and all of this. And it's like, at the end of the day, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to satisfy everybody. So that's that. And the thing about Naomi, because, Naomi gave up the court case in order to be more in her dad's life. She really loves her father, and she really didn't want to go toe to toe with him because she felt like it would just sever their relationship beyond repair. And she wanted to kind of keep it intact. So she removed herself from the case. So now she's at home, just really going through the emotional rigmarole of it all. Just like, what did I do wrong? How can I get better? Why am I so angry? And her husband asked her, it's like, you're more angry with Haley than you are with your father. And she's like, well, she was my friend. She was my best friend. And I knew her and I had seen her be conniving. And she asked a lot of questions about my dad. And she asked a lot about my parents' marriage. And it just didn't click with me. I just thought she was being curious. I didn't think she would be manipulative. And that draws me back to like her being an orphan. And like, I feel like she did probably play it like some sort of mind game on Bill to kind of get him to marry her and to leave his wife. But that's still to be fleshed out. There's still to be fleshed out. Now, talk about husbands on the brink of destruction. Tim is on the brink of destruction. He don't know what to do. He is being overly nice to Dr. Nicole. I mean, he's giving her foot rubs. He's bringing in breakfast in bed. He's rubbing feet. He's gassing up cars. He's doing everything that he can, to the point where she's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Either you are really gonna miss me, or you are feeling guilty about something, sir. Like, what's really going on with you? And she's just like, he's like, no, you're the most deserving woman in the world, and you're the most loving and most tender, and you deserve the best. Now, remember, he told Dre that he had cheated with someone. He had cheated on Dr. Nicole, right? So he's kind of let it out. And once you do let it out, so it's almost like when you're drinking and you finally pee that one time, you're going to have to go pee in rapid succession after that. That's why they say you got to hold it as long as you possibly can, because once you break that fortress, you're going to be peeing all the time. And it's the same thing with that lie. Once you tell the truth one time, your body wants to, excuse me, achoo, 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 whew, achoo. Your body wants to tell the truth all the time. It must be the truth trying to come out of me, honey. My. Okay, so then Dre calls, and he's calling from Danny's house, right? I'm thinking he's calling to talk to Nicole about her sister. But Tim, he's so paranoid, thinking Dre gonna tell him about his little secret, that he is like determined to be in the room when Dre shows up. So Dre, I feel like he can't really say what he wants to say because it really is a private matter, and he's not trying to let everybody know what's going on with Danny. So he brings up some excuse about, I just wanted to showcase how wonderful you guys were. My goodness, how great you guys are, and how fantastic you guys are, and how wonderful your marriage is. And she's like, ain't really been no bed of roses. Ain't really been life to me. Ain't been no crystal stair, honey. So she's like, golly, I'm going through it. I'm a woman of a certain age. I got the Kegel my way through my call. God. Okay. So he's just going on and on. He's just going on and on and on about how people break the marriages. And Dr. Nicole is like, well, it ain't really been that perfect. It hasn't been that great. And he's just like, Tim is like, don't say that. We have a great marriage and things have been great. And she's like, well, it wasn't always the best. Like, but I know that you would never step out of me. And she was like, don't say that about me. I'm not a perfect man. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Like, bring it down to a two, okay? Like, relax, sir. So he's just, he's so ready to burst into steam. His secret is about to bubble all the way over, right? So we talk about Tim and Dr. Nicole. Let's talk about Tim and Dr. Nicole's son, Congressman Robinson. Martin, oh, he is exhausted. My God. When I tell you this man is exhausted, he done took his old happy ass over to the principal's house and said, we need to meet because there's some bullying going on at the school, and my son is in the middle of it, and we need you to stop it. And he's thinking he's done some triumphant thing by saying all of this to the administration. And Smitty is like, yeah, but at what cost to our son? But I'm a parent. I'm supposed to protect my kids. This is what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, but at what expense of our son? Like, it was not the best thing for him to have to go through this. But he's like, you don't see what I see. You don't understand why it's important that I take action. And he's like, I believe it is important that you take action. I also believe it's important that you listen to the needs of your son. Like, I'm telling you, Smitty is so grounded. He is so grounded. And Martin is such a freaking hothead, which does not make sense according to the heritage of the family in which he's grown up in. I don't think Senator Vernon would have done that. I don't think Senator Vernon would have tried to make a public spectacle of his son's bullying. He would have probably handled it very silently, very behind the scenes. No, Martin's got to go and try to do something. Go, Captain, save a hoe. And it's like, sir, nobody asked you to do this. And because of this, it's going to blow up in his face. His son is going to run away. His son is going to, I would run away. If I was that kid, I'd run away to my father, my mom, real mom, my biological dad, or somebody. I would run away because I'm not being heard in this family. I'm not being seen in this family. And like, there's nothing that I can do that will warrant me to stay. So I would definitely leave. That's what I would do. But I digress. I feel like episode 36 really helped to like establish like the family dynamics again. We're itching to get Tim's story out. I can't wait until this little secret bombshell drops in. We didn't see Eva or Leslie, Dana, Leslie, Anna. We didn't see none of them this episode. So I'm really exciting about what's happening next. What's more to come. So stick tuned. This is episode 36, Beyond the Gates. Again, I am Nikema Lee. I am a florist here. And just recapping some of the wonderful things that are about this show. I didn't see any flower arrangements that stood out to me in this episode. Just your typical country club flowers, which are, right now are our standards. Tim and Dr. Nicole have a lot of plants in their house. So we get to see the plants again, and then the pretty box out windows that they have, and the big, beautiful purple hydrangea bush that they have out there. So other than that, stay tuned. Keep up with me. Don't miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification button so that you won't miss when I upload another recap. I look forward to doing these guys for you. I'm having so much fun watching this show, and you should too. So join me over at Paramount Plus or CBS and watch the show with us as we watch along. Other than that, have a good day. Bye, guys.
Like, share, sign up for those notifications, and subscribe to this channel.